for Morocco. To this near side, but Saibari can't keep it in under pressure. Carlos Baliba. So a throw to Cameroon on this near side. Cameroon right. Straight back into their own half to Malone Jr. Jr. taking inside to Samuel Cotto. It's a long ball forward. All the way through to the arms of Bono, who just rolls it out to Gerd. Gerd will pick it up once more and launch it left-footed over the halfway line. He was looking for the runner there, who was Ezal Zuli. Ezal Zuli, who had some joy down that side in group games of this competition. This near side, it's going to throw to Cameroon, taken by Chimadu. He's thrown it back to Malone Jr. Malone Jr. is under pressure from Carby. Carby had fouled him, but the referee seemed to feel that Cameroon still had the ball, although he's not actually given the free kick. Surprised because Carby was anyway, the ball is played inside. And, well, the Madrid man was surging forward. And, it was Danny Namasso that came in the back of him. He didn't just clip the calf of Diaz as he was running forward, and Namasso was well behind him, so it was an easy enough decision for referee Baida to give. So it's a free kick just to the right of the penalty area. 20 yards from the byline. One or two to the right of the penalty area. Looks like the captain Hakimi is going to deliver, although there is another Moroccan player in the vicinity of the ball. Looks as if it will be Hakimi's right foot. It is. He drifts it in. And it's headed behind for a corner. Decent delivery that from Hakimi. Defender stood up well, solid head on it, put it out. So a corner from the right to Morocco, 6.5 minutes played. Hakimi, Paris Saint-Germain to take this corner kick, drills it in low towards the near post. It's put out for another corner. First thought was it wasn't the greatest of deliveries, but it caused a little bit of consternation. Needed putting behind again. What will Hakimi do from this one? It's off a few yards. Deliver a right-footed outswinger, and it comes towards the centre of the box, headed outside the area. Bumo gets a foot on it, and Cameroon might now break away. They surge over the halfway line, but Saibari and again did really well to get that goal side and hook the ball back into the Cameroonian half. It was a real threat of a breakout there, led by Carlos Baliba. Saibari again did a good job. It's back in the Cameroon final third. Just forward of the 18-yard area. Short pass forward. Here's Baliba. Baliba's attempted ball forward is charged down by Saibari. Back to the Cameroon back line. Picking up once again over the halfway line, but Morocco win it back. swing it towards this left-hand touchline. Salzuli is tackled. Mazraoui comes to help him out. Twists and turns, looking to escape Malone Jr.'s attentions. Plays it forward. It's taken in on the edge of the box by Saibari. Cross in from the left. Oh, that's a really good clearance. Really good clearance. Because Al-Kabi was closing in on it. Would have had a tap in, but for that intervention. They come again though, Morocco. Surging forward, and they've won another free kick. Just outside the box. I think the referee's got a yellow card in his hand. Ashraf Hakimi was brought to ground. Now committed by Arthur Avom. Just seeing the cross into the box again. It's a brilliant clearance by Nahu. Because El-Kabi was getting ready to tap the ball home. Never got the chance to. But Avom has been put in the book now for this tackle. We're just coming up to the 10th minute. This is a very dangerous position indeed. It's probably 25, 26 yards out, just to the right of centre. Passy lining up his wall. His purple shirt, put down by Ashraf Hakimi. Champions League winner with PSG, of course, last summer. Everybody else has moved away from the ball. There's a Moroccan wall alongside the Cameroonian one to create some chaos. Pretty sure that Hakimi's going to hit this. He's just adjusted the ball once again. He's actually put it a yard or so behind where the referee's spray went down. Up he steps now. By Morocco. Hakimi knew he'd overhit it as soon as he touched the ball. He knew it was going to skip away. Brahim Diaz and Nagida have had a little tete-a-tete about something. Gargi applauds the invention from the free kick, but not the execution. So we've played 11 and a half minutes here, with the score at 0-0. Goal kick over the halfway line, put forward again by Morocco. Once more by the Cameroon. A little bit of head tennis going on. And now we've had a clash between Carlos Baliba. I think it's Ismail Saibari who's on the ground, and once again the referee has decided that that's a free kick to Morocco. Says that Baliba came over the top of Ismail Saibari to reach the ball. So the Hove Albion man is penalised. Morocco take the free kick. It's back in their own half with Noah Fagerd. There's Messina, Watford of course. There is Mazraoui, who is in a collision on this near side, and one of the Cameroon players is hurt as a result. Who said that he was fouling Mazraoui, but Chamadu has come off the worst. Let's get to the ball, Chamadu, but he was pulling Mazraoui back by the shirt when he reached the ball. He's overstretched, maybe that's the thing. It seems to be his left leg which is the cause of concern. Moroccan fans rallying one another to get behind their team in the Stade Prince Moulay Abdullah Stadium. 69,000 6,500 capacity. It was built for these championships and it only opened 4 months ago. It was built in just 2 years. The fastest stadium construction in the world. There's an entry in the Guinness Book of Records for that. It's a pretty impressive sight, I have to say. The construct that went up that quickly. Still, Chamadu is getting some treatment. It's not particularly promising, actually, for the Cameroonian. He's still lying on his back on this near touchline, which is the Cameroonian right. A couple of the substitutes have been sent for a run up the touchline, just in case they're required here. But this is a big night for Morocco. They were eliminated at this stage in both 2017 and 2021. But going back underway, Morocco are in possession. Here's Mazraoui, just short of the halfway line. He takes it into the Cameroonian half, plays it to his left. There's Al-Zouli on the left touchline. Field returns it to Mazraoui, who goes past his man. There's Al-Zouli once more. Can he get the cross in? Well, he did. He was met by a Cameroonian foot, but Saibari won it back. In comes the cross. Flicks off the head. Corner, which was taken short. Fourth corner already. All of them have come from the right hand side. It's Ashraf Hakimi to take it once more. Swings it in towards the near post. It might be a fifth corner, it is. Initial header was from Morocco, courtesy of Ainaoui. Came off a Cameroonian shirt last. So a fifth corner from the right. Hakimi in again, longer this time. Headed away from the centre of the penalty area. Mbeumo tries to sprint clear. He's tackled and Morocco have won the ball back once more. Here's Brahim Diaz to the right of the penalty area, twisting and turning. Knocked out by Nahu for a throw near the corner flag. Continue the pressure. I think they've won another free kick here for a foul on Bilal Al-Khanous. He's gone to ground after getting a kick from Kafane. The initial reaction when Mbeumo was trying to sprint away was that he may well have been fouled, but we've seen him a very large piece of the ball. Show. Here's Hakimi with the free kick towards the near post. It's again come off the Cameroonian shirt. Nahu's gone down injured. Cameroonian players are saying that Diaz went with a high foot. Well, his foot was slightly high, and Nahu's head was slightly low. That's why the two parts of the anatomy made contact. Free kick has been given. Brahim Diaz has escaped censure. So no yellow card for that. Cameroon get us underway once more. Passe with the long kick over the halfway line, headed back into Cameroonian territory. The men in green pick it up. Nagida with a long ball forward, looking for Mbeumo. Mazraoui goes with him. Bono comes out of his goal and hooks it into the stands. Runs back again to guard the area between his posts. It'll be a throw to Cameroon, just 5 or 6 yards from the corner flag. Chance to throw a long one into the box, perhaps. 18 minutes played. Cameroon 0, Morocco 0 in this second AFCON quarter-final of the day. Cameroon with a long throw into the penalty area, headed out again. Sabari gets it clear to the halfway line, pursues Shea Malone Jr., but Malone Jr. turns away from him, hooks the ball forward. Bumo glances it on. Morocco win it back once more. Brahim Diaz twisting and turning, trying to escape attention. He's played it out to the right-hand side. Morocco come over the halfway line with Hakimi. Ball played back inside now, looking for Ismail Saibari. He sweeps it further left. Takes a touch off a Cameroon foot. Goes out for a Moroccan throw, which has already been taken to Hassan Mazraoui. To the halfway line now. It's Adam Messina. Square for Agard. To the far touchline. Hakimi turns it to Agard. Stick with English football, of course, with West Ham. Agard. That's good from Diaz. Goes past his man on the far touchline. Runs into a challenge, and the referee has given a free kick. Cameroon protests that they got plenty of the ball on that particular occasion. The initial reaction was they may have a case. Let's have a look. Diaz does well initially to get away from Nagida. Cross came Nahu. Does he get a touch on the ball? Well, no, he doesn't, but it has to be said that Brahim Diaz makes breakfast, lunch and dinner out of that challenge, really. He made a full-scale 3 meals a day out of it. Made it look far worse than it was. It's a free kick, nevertheless, to Morocco. Just a few yards to the right of the penalty area. This time it will be taken by Azal Zuli, who's come over to the right-hand side to take it. Plays it in right-footed, surely too long. Cena went for it at the far post. I think the ball had already gone out. Had indeed. It's two pretty disappointing free kick deliveries in the last few minutes from Morocco. Promising positions that they've wasted. Another Cameroon player on the ground inside his own box, which is a worry. He's got his face covered by his shirt as well. Let's try and see where this occurred. Sure, didn't seem to be anyone down at all when the ball first came in, but the stretcher is out. So this is a worrying moment. Maybe Chamadu that's down on the ground. The stretcher bearers the stretcher out alongside him. The physios are around Chamadu as well. Let's have a look. He gets a tackle. Oh, yes, nasty. He got the tackle in. Mazraoui as he came down from the impact of the tackle, he landed on Chamadu's leg, which was slightly off the floor, and then sort of pressed into the ground. Could be very nasty indeed. So, having looked at the replays, I'm not that surprised that the stretcher is in attendance here. And something's being applied to his left knee, which suggests that that's the area that's taken the impact. It's certainly beginning to look like that will be the end of Chamadu's contribution to this match. Just a reminder that the winners of this tie play the winners of the third quarter-final tomorrow between Algeria and Nigeria. Algeria, who've been very measly at the back, not conceding goals. Nigeria seem to have scored quite a few in the course of the tournament. So whoever gets through from here is in for an easy time in that particular semi-final. Well, there's an ice pack on the knee. Stretcher is out, and although he's sitting up on the stretcher, with the end of this game for Chamadou, who's still got his hand over his eyes. I think there may be a few tears there for Chamadou. That's a sad sight for him. Really sad. The English-born fullback. It's only his 9th cap. Starts his career in Colchester. Well, the substitute is on, and it's Junior Dina Ibimbe who's come on to take his place, but a sad end for Chamadou in this Africa Cup of Nations quarter-final. We're past the midway point of the first half. Still goalless at the Prince Moulay Abdullah Stadium. Ball out on the far side. Throw to Cameroon. And throw it back into their own penalty area. Assay can hoof it clear over the halfway line. Tempted to flick on. Runs away from Fane. I think he was penalised anyway for shoving Achraf Hakimi out of the way. Chamadou's got off the stretcher. Still looks pretty crestfallen. Morocco play a ball forward. Away by Cameroon to this near side touchline, but here's strong run forward. Here's Ezal Zuli to the left of the penalty area. Plays it in. Cross comes in. Oh, it's come off the hoo. And now he joined Ezal Zuli in getting that ball in. And looking for El Kaabi. For the first time, Nahu was the man in the way. The captain got up off the floor, having made that clearance, and gestured to the rest of his defenders as if to say, come on, I need some more help here. Because Morocco have bossed the first quarter of this game. This is their 6th corner. Cameroon are yet to have one at all. Achraf Hakimi with the corner kick into the centre of the area. El Kaabi, and he scores! Lovely header! Beautiful header from Ayub El Kaabi. And they've deserved that. They've deserved that, have Morocco. They worked hard for that goal. Well, it's Brahim Diaz who's taking the adulation, so maybe he got a touch on El Kaabi's header. Pretty sure El Kaabi reached it first. It's Brahim Diaz who salutes the crowd. Does his little gesture where he almost stands apologetically with his arms out. Let's have a look. Well, El Kaabi got the first touch, and then Diaz poked it past the goalkeeper from close range. It was a lovely header from El Kaabi. Well, the question for me here will be, was Diaz onside? Because it's tight. And would El Kaabi's header have gone in anyway? Or if it's disallowed because Diaz was offside, he might wish he hadn't touched it. Those two have been pretty dangerous throughout the tournament for Morocco. The goal is given, and that means that Brahim Diaz has now scored in every one of the 5 games in this tournament. Prior to this competition, he'd only ever scored in 2 successive games. He's now done it in 5. So the Real Madrid man is lighting up this competition. El Kaabi, who's got 3 goals in the tournament, has clocked up another assist. Apologies for not noticing in fast motion that Diaz was the man who'd poked it over the line. I thought it was a thumping header from El Kaabi, who did really well to rise above the defensive cover, get the initial header in. Diaz indeed did poke it in over the past goalkeeper Ipassi. Cameroon with a chance to respond from the restart. What a free kick. A yard in from the far touchline. Cameroon left. It's about 16 yards from the byline. So it'll be swung in left-footed. This is the first chance they've really had to threaten the Moroccan goal. And they do so. Blue is once again geeing up some of his players. Word between the referee and the two number 5s, the Hu and the Gerd. Something of a lecture. The 34-year-old who's making it pretty clear he doesn't want to see any more of whatever it was he saw. I'm sure he'll see plenty more of it, because I'm sure they'll go back to doing exactly the same thing, because most players do. In comes the ball from the left. Headed on. It's got to be dealt with in there. Headed away to the edge of the penalty area. Bumo gets onto it. Can't keep hold of it though. Saibari will play it up the line. Here is Al-Zuli down the other end, looking to attack. Tried to put the ball across. That's good defending by Shane Malone Jr. Cameroon could play the ball away. 3 shots to Cameroon's none. Ashraf Hakimi has it once more. Has it inside to Diaz. Diaz goes down under challenge. Referee says nothing doing. Morocco have lost possession. Ron plays it to Mbimbe. This near side. Carlos Baliba to Samuel Cotto. Long ball from him. Far too long. Too much on that. This goes all the way through to Bono at the other end. Just definitely an extra Weetabix or two in that last ball forward. Cameroon have got to protect the ball a little better than that if they want to get back in this contest, because they've been outplayed so far. Well, it's a free kick been given for a foul by Al-Kabi. The long ball forward. Clattered into Malone Jr. Well, we're seeing again the Moroccan goal, and just confirmation that Diaz was behind the defender when he poked the ball past Ipase. Actually get much of a clean touch on it, really. It came off his right knee, or United perspective, they're going to get one of these players back fairly soon, depending on this result. In time for them to play against Brighton in the FA Cup at the weekend, but certainly be back in time for the clash with Manchester City in the league next weekend, which the red side of Manchester will need all the help they can get, I would imagine. Cameroon have the ball deep in their own half. Samuel Cotto to his goalkeeper Ipase, who backs off and then belts it forward right-footed. Bumo tried to bring it under his spell, but was beaten to it. Morocco are winning those 50-50s at the moment, which is why they're in charge of this game. Heading forward, it was looking for Al-Kabi. Obviously tidied up by Cameroon. Here's Mbumo now trying to stride forward. Again he went down under challenge in the centre circle, and again the referee gave nothing. Here's Al-Zuli. Skips beyond the challenge of Mbimbe. Plays it back into a more central area. Then out to the right hand touchline to Ashraf Hakimi. Hakimi just over midway through the Cameroon half. It's a short pass. Now it comes back to the halfway line. It's Messina in the centre circle. There's Rawi. Inching forward as Al-Zuli. Outside Bari was on the overlap. Steps inside the challenge of Baliba. Back to playing on for now. Just listening in as to what might have happened there, and he's now stopped play. He's gone to check on Moroccan on the ground, and it is Al-Zuli, who seems to have gone down with a problem with his right leg. I don't know what happened there. Was there any collision at all? Get trodden on by Ebimbe, or has his leg just given way underneath him? He doesn't seem to know himself what happened in that situation. There's a bit of furore between the two benches, lots of finger pointing. Let's have a look again. Well, the Moroccan bench is saying that Al-Zuli was made contact with on the Achilles by the challenge of Ebimbe. The referee is trying, I think, to bring the two captains together, or at least Passe and Hakimi. Al-Zuli is back on his feet, I believe. It certainly sparked something as Al-Zuli is gesturing as if to say, why wasn't that a penalty for an off the ball incident? I must admit the pictures are not conclusive for me as to whether there was any contact between Ebimbe and there's Al-Zuli. He certainly seemed to go down in pain. Anyway, Morocco have a throw, which is Hakimi, threw it down the line towards Brahim Diaz, but Nagida was strong. Just stood in the way of Diaz. Stayed on his feet. Diaz couldn't get around him to reach the ball. So he plays the ball out short. Have to be careful here, but Baliba protects it well. So he's back to Samuel Cotto in his own penalty area. 36 minutes played. Cameroon 0, Morocco 1. Brahim Diaz's goal separates. Long kick left-footed by Bono, headed on by Al-Kabi. Al-Kabi will now pick the bits up once more. And here's Al-Zuli on the edge of the area, tries a shot, flies just wide, with a Passe diving away to his right. It was worth a try from Al-Zuli. Good effort. Al-Kabi beat his man to the ball, and followed up well to release it to the left-hand side. Al-Zuli took a step inside and let fly. He was always bending away from the post. A decent enough effort from Al-Zuli. Good attempt. 24-year-old winger, it's his 29th cap tonight. He was another one to progress through the under-23 AFCON and Paris 24s. where they won the bronze medal, of course. Here at Cameroon on a rare raid, played across the penalty area. So Bari did enough to see it out of his box. Here's Mazraoui. So Bari went for the ball again, broke to Mazraoui, and now Morocco can stride forward, turn away from the tackle. It's a heavy challenge in the centre circle on Brahim Diaz, and the referee has his book out again, and it's Nahu Tolo who is in the book, the skipper. Not surprised, that was a pretty industrial challenge by him. Took away the left foot of Brahim Diaz. He was nowhere near the ball, just blunderbust in. Really poor challenge. Look at the replay of Bari seeing the ball out of the box a few minutes ago. I don't think there was any problem with his challenge as the ball ran across. His earnest conversation with somebody on his bench, definitely not in agreement. But Brahim Diaz is back on his feet, which the Moroccan fans will be pleased about. It's not been a problem. The leading goal scorer in the tournament had been put out of the game. Restart. We were seeing some pictures there at the stadium, which is it's impressive, it has to be said. It's a free kick to Morocco, just a few yards inside the Cameroonian half. Chipped out to this near side to Mazraoui, down the line. Well, it stayed in play, but it went past Ezarzouli, then skipped out of another 15 yards up the line. So it's a throw to Cameroon. Shalom throws it in, to the head of Mazraoui. Forward again by Cameroon. And it comes in. It's out on the near side. So a throw to Cameroon. Just on the halfway line. Bay throws it in. Looks forward. Away by Mazraoui. Long ball forward, which is no threat to the Cameroonian goal. Just goes over the dead ball line for a goal kick. Passe to take. It's we've just got 4 minutes of the first half remaining. That's whenever the referee adds on for stoppages. Cameroon have given the ball away again in their own, deep in their own half. Harvey's penalised, I think, initially for handball. For a foul on his opponent. He certainly puts himself about, the Zelkabi. A little bit unlucky there actually, because it wasn't handball. It looks as if from the pictures that the Masso fouled him first. Anyway, decision's gone with the men in green, and they haven't got many decisions given to them so far tonight. We're back once more. Cotto. Belieber, a man much sought after. Some clubs, if rumours are to be believed, are sniffing around him in the January window. There's Brahim Diaz, though, once again for Morocco, who've been pretty dominant in this first half, but only have one goal to show for it. Hakimi. To the halfway line. There for Gerd. Messina inside him. There's Mazraoui in the halfway line. Goes past Mbumo. Tackle slides in. Mazraoui meets the throw. Just touch off shooting alone. Just 2 minutes of the first half remaining. There's Ismail Saibari. Swings them all out towards the right hand side, but it will be intercepted by Cameroon. Over the halfway line, only to lose it once more. Brahim Diaz out out to Bilal Al-Kanous. This cross came off a Cameroon foot and cannoned into Brahim Diaz. Back up with goalkeeper Apassi. Well, Cameroon might be quite glad to get to half-time at 1-0 if they can, because they've not really been in the game. They're only a goal in arrears. Heads the ball away. There's a little tete-a-tete between him and a man that he's left on the ground. Another challenge came in to give away a free kick. Well, the Cameroonian player is writhing on the ground. Maybe Nagida, who actually went down. It's Kafane and Aguerd. Aguerd sticks his shoulder into Kafani. But then the question is, did he go back and stamp on him when he was on the floor? Maybe a little bit for VAR to look at here. And if I was there for Aguerd, my heart might be in my mouth a little here, because the collision between the two of them didn't look great, I would have to say. Cameroon certainly won't want to lose Kafane, because he came into this competition uncapped. He scored what proved to be the winner in each of the last two games. Well, Aguerd definitely... Well, the initial challenge is clumsy as he goes to win the ball. My initial thought was that there was some afters as well, but the cameras have not picked that up. The Goo is laying down the law to Arthur Avom while we wait for play to restart. And it looks as if Aguerd will escape any censure. He might be a very lucky boy, I would have to say. It's a free kick though for the challenge after that. It will be taken by Mbumo. It's about 4 or 5 yards in from the far touchline the Cameroon left. Probably 25 to 30 yards from the byline. A little more. So he's going to swing it in left-footed. 4 Cameroon players on the edge or inside the box. Comes the ball from Mbumo. It's really poor. It's cleared by Hakimi. A great tournament. In my perception, he's not had a great tournament in Mbumo. The last few games for Manchester United before he came out, he didn't play that well. So maybe he's just not in the best of form. Cameroon again down the left-hand side. With Arthur Avom. Ball is out on that side, and the throw is given to Cameroon. Swing the ball into the box, but it's a hopeless one. Doesn't give any of the 3 players in the box any chance of reaching it. It's in the hands of Bono. 5 minutes of time added on, which isn't surprising because we had the injury to Chamadou, which needed the stretcher. Here's Azalzouli breaking into the left of the area. Okabi runs ahead of him. Gets a left-footed shot in, but knocks it wide. They feel he should have done a bit better with that, El Kabi. It was a very presentable chance indeed for Ayub El Kabi. 50th cap tonight, 18 goals, plays his football for Olympiacos. And in fact, it's more than his 50th cap. His 50th cap came in the 16 game, I believe. But he should have made more of that. Olympiacos sent forward. Made a meal of it. Here is Shea Malone Jr. wafting the ball forward. Away by Hakimi. Hooked clear by Mizraoui over the halfway line. Malone Jr. with a bicycle kick back into the Moroccan half. I'm sure he needed to be that spectacular. cutting into from behind by Malawi. It's a free kick to Cameroon, just 6 yards inside the Moroccan half, just to the right of the centre circle. Carlos Baliba will be left to be architect in this particular situation, but he just plays a short pass to goalkeeper Passi, who lofts it towards the edge of the penalty area, headed on, put away by Ismail Saibari, but only to Brian and Bumo. Bumo looks to take on Mesraoui, and Mesraoui initially gets the better of it, but Bumo wins it back. Nemeso puts the ball across the box, put away by Nawi. Another collision on the touchline. Well. Now it's Regragui saying there was an elbow in one of his players' faces. Well, this is getting a little bit tasty, really. Well, I don't think it was in the face. I think it was in the chest. Let's have a look. Yeah, it was in the chest. It was a swinging arm, and he knew exactly where Ezalzouli was. But again, Ezalzouli has made a huge amount out of it. Gone down like he's been shot. Those of you that listen to my commentary will know that I don't like that. I don't like players faking more serious injury than they've got. It just means you can't tell sometimes when a player is genuinely seriously injured, because there's too much faking going on. The ball's out again on the near side, and in fact the referee's whistle has gone for half time. Well, Brahim Diaz, as he has been through most of this tournament, is the man whose goal separates the sides. It's his 5th goal of the competition, and it came from a right-wing corner from Ashraf Hakimi, which was headed on by Al-Kabi, and he got in front of the defender to sweep it in from just a few yards out, and that's the least that Morocco deserve, really, for a dominant first half here at the Prince Moulay Abdullah Stadium. Really more than one, but the Moroccans lead at half-time by a goal to nil. Join us for the second. The semi-finals. They lead Cameroon by 1-0 at half-time at the Stade Moulay Abdullah Stadium, the Prince Stade Moulay Abdullah Stadium, courtesy of Brahim Diaz's 5th goal of the tournament, scored in the 26th minute. He swept it in from close range after centre forward Ayoub Al-Karbi had won the header from Achraf Hakimi's right wing corner, and really it's no more than Morocco deserved. They dominated the first half, in which Cameroon hardly laid a glove on their opponents at all, and they might have got more than one. Morocco, as El Zouli went pretty close, and it needed a really good clearance from Tolo Nahu to prevent a tap-in at the far post for El-Karbi even before Diaz had scored. So plenty for Cameroon to do if the indomitable Lions are to get back into this particular quarter-final. A reminder as well that Senegal won the first quarter-final of this tournament earlier today, beating Mali 1-0 with a goal from Ndai, and so they await their opponents in what will be the 4th quarter-final tomorrow. Cameroon getting us underway in the second half, now kicking from right to left, and they need to produce something in this second period. I don't know what was said at half-time, but they really do need to up the ante. Avon plays a ball forward, and they win an early free kick on this near side, the Cameroon left, just a few yards in from the near touchline. Will be swung in by Nagida. They lost Chamadu in the first half to an injury. Nagida swings the ball in, headed down onto the edge of the penalty area, but Al-Kanous got a challenge in before anybody could sweep it in, and now Morocco break forward. That's a good interception by Nagida. Nicked it away from Brahim Diaz. Good recovery run by Bilal Al-Kanous. Achraf Hakimi plays it forward down the left-hand touchline. Back by Diaz to Al-Kanous. Al-Kanous, who spell at Leicester, of course, after recently he was part of the Paris 24 Moroccan side that won a bronze medal as well. They've committed a foul here. Al-Karbi going in on Ebimbe, who was the substitute who came on in the first half when Chamadu went off with a knee injury. Nasty looking injury there. I'd be surprised if we saw him again in the tournament. Here's Baliba turning away from Ismail Saibari, and he was brought down by El Zouli. So it's a free kick to Cameroon, who've started this second half with a little bit more vim and vigour than we saw in the first, as indeed they needed to. They need to change their tempo and really get in amongst it. Here's Baliba in the centre circle, past El-Karbi. It's prevented from getting further forward by the challenge of Nawi. The ball is out on this near side, and it's a throw to Morocco. Form's gone down now on this near touchline. Looks like he needs some attention. He's just on the pitch, and he was fouled just on the pitch. Pretty similar position to the one that Bradley found himself in last night with Gabriel Martinelli in the English Premier League. Fortunately for Yvonne, nobody's tried to throw him off the pitch as Martinelli did last night. So no melee has been sparked as it was at the Emirates Stadium. referee is going to give the ball back to Morocco in their own penalty area to restart the game. Bono picks it up and prepares to get us restarted again. Bono with an increasing, over 80 caps to his name. The Morocco number 1. Oh, that's a dangerous challenge. Goodness me. It's a yellow card for Bilal Al-Khanous. Foot was high. Caught his man. Giving away another free kick in the centre circle. Oh my goodness, that was high. Where's that caught? Avom. Oh, it's caught him right on the shin bone. It's a very sore one. Al-Khanous goes to protest his innocence, but he's definitely guilty of bad foul there, I would say. No indication that VAR are having a look at it as a more serious offence, but Avon's now been left in a heat twice in this half already, and we've only played 5 minutes. Tackle taking place in the centre circle. Karagi is out of his technical area, the Moroccan coach, and he's showing a few instructions. He looks a bit more animated than he did in the first half. I think he knows that Cameroon have come out with a slightly different attitude at the start of this second half. They look like they mean a little more business. Throw on the far side, which Mbeumo will take to Avom, to Mbeumo again. He lofts it up the line. I don't think Avom is going to reach that. Combination of Messina and Mazraoui shepherd it over the dead ball line for a goal kick. So an eventful start to the second half for Arthur Avom. Kick to Morocco. If Bono doesn't take, it's taken for him by Messina. One ball looking for Al-Kabi. Again, Al-Kabi's penalised for a foul. And the referee comes across and says, "No more of that, thank you." Clatter into Ngida. To Ngida. Cameroon take the free kick. There is Tano Mahu. Short of the halfway line. Back to the right hand side, Shea Malone. Back inside from him to Believer, who turns a circle. Gets the ball to Mahu once more. Mahu to Cotto. Cotto steps away from the challenge, plays it forward left footed. Chased into this left-hand channel. It's going to go out though. Actually, they prevented it from going out. Morocco decided to play it instead and promptly gave it away. It's played up to the edge of the penalty area. And Masso tried to get onto it, but in the end, in their haste, Cameroon have committed a foul. Ainaoui to the ground. That was an opportunity. Would have been of Morocco's own making, that trouble, because they, rather than let the ball go over the dead ball line, they kept it in play and probably gave it away. So they've not really emerged for the second half yet, Morocco. Whereas Cameroon have come out with a greater intensity. The onus is on them to force the pace in the game, as they trail by a goal to nil. They have the ball over the halfway line, but now he steps in. There's a Gerd. He was involved in a confrontation in the first half from which he escaped without censure. Unfortunately, in my view. Saibari is brought to ground now. And the latest foul. I think Belieber's the guilty party on this occasion. And into the back of Saibari, who's been in fine form for PSV Eindhoven this season. He's clear at the top of the Eredivisie, and his goals have been a large part of that. He's not scored at this tournament though. Free kick to Morocco, lofted deep into the Cameroonian half, but Green have won it back. Indomitable Lions showing a few more teeth in this particular half. All at the back. Here's Nahu. Out off the challenge of Al-Kabi, who challenged him strongly and in fact fouled him. And then stood in front of the ball to prevent the free kick being taken quickly as well. And he's trying the referee's patience here a little bit, Al-Kabi. The referee doesn't have another word with him, he just insists that the free kick is taken from the correct spot. There's Nagida, short of the halfway line, on this near side. So will pass backwards to Cotto, Belieber, to the far side now, Shea Malone. Into Mbumo, who's not been involved in this game anywhere near enough from a Cameroonian perspective. Back in the Cameroon half with a long ball from right to left. Can Ngida keep it in? No, he can't. Tried to keep it in near the corner flag and it just skipped on. Hook it back. It's out of play for a goal kick. So Morocco through the first 10 minutes of the second half and they still lead, courtesy of Brahim Diaz's 26th-minute goal. Preparing another substitution as we speak. Looks as if Georges Kevin Nkudu is going to enter the fray fairly soon. In the meantime, a long ball from Morocco is headed on by Al-Kabi, but into Nahu. Here's Cotto. Nahu was almost sold short by the ball back across to him, but Cameroon have got it into the Morocco half. Bimbe. Ngida. Ngida back inside to Avon. Oh, he's bowled over. Gives away another free kick to Cameroon. Second half has become a bit bitty because of these challenges and free kicks that are being given away. Who plays it over the halfway line but gives it away. Kabi turns it to Cameroon possession and they spill it again. Played forward. Kabi chasing it out to the right hand side of the box. He goes down under a challenge, looks towards the referee and the referee's not at all interested. Gone out for a goal kick. There's not enough in that for me. There is a coming together of the two players, but no real attempt to commit a foul. Well, Bimbe, who came on as a substitute in the first half, has now been substituted for Georges Kevin Nkudu to come on. 30-year-old French ball winner, who now plays in the Saudi League. 3 years at Tottenham and 4 with Besiktas previously. Just pulled forward there towards Ryan Mbumo, but isn't strong enough up against his Israeli teammate Israwi. And ball out for a goal kick, which Bono will take. Doesn't look in any particular hurry to get on with it, Bono. With the side 1-0 up, who can blame him? He's over the halfway line now, looking for the head of Al-Kabi. Here's Nawi, and there's Rawi racing over the halfway line down the left flank. Plays it forward, but only gives it away. So Cotto to the right of the penalty area for Cameroon. At walking pace for a moment. Who sends it back to Ipase. Ipase, who's been less required at the start of the second half, should we say. Cameroon, though, for their brighter start to the second half, haven't really tested Bono in anyway so far. They need to do more if they're going to get back in the contest. They've won themselves a throw. So that's all. So far, Cameroon not a single shot on target. Morocco have only had one, and it ended up in a goal. Here they come again, running forward. The Moroccans looking to create some problems down this right-hand side. Brahim Diaz, he's won a corner off Nkudu. It's good play by Diaz. So a corner kick to Morocco as we tick up towards the hour. Corner kick on the right-hand side, and it was from a corner from the right. They scored in the first half, of course. So hope springs eternal for the home fans at the Prince Moulay Abdullah Stadium. Hakimi with the corner, headed onto the top of the bar and onto the roof of the net. My initial instinct was it had gone in, but in fact it hadn't. It was a good near post header. It was Ezal Zuli. I think it brushed the top of the crossbar as it went over the top. Cameroon hearts would have been in mouths then, because a second goal for Morocco would have killed the game, I think. But they breathe again, and the gap stays at 1. From the back once more. Long ball forward, looking for Nkudu, doesn't reach him. Brahim Diaz attempts to make progress down the right. Ngida challenges. He was out for a throw, and Ngida thought it was his. It's given the other way. I think Ngida has a strong point there. His touch was off Diaz. Go his way. Here come Morocco once more, striding into the Cameroonian half. They have it on the left-hand side with Saibari into the penalty area, but hooked away. Morocco pick it up once more though. There's a Gerd. Now Hakimi. Diaz. Hakimi runs on ahead of him. Diaz comes in field, and now the ball's played through to Hakimi, who puts it across the box. Oh, it's hooked off the line. Hooked off the line. Saibari thought he'd done enough to get it over the line. It was hooked away. Saibari's down in the 6-yard box. It was a delicious cross from Achraf Hakimi. Beautifully worked down the right-hand side. The cross deflected. Came through. Saibari went for it with the goalkeeper. He got something on it, and it was hooked away off the line by the defender. It may have been disallowed anyway, because I have a feeling that Saibari has headed it down onto his arm. But it's a wonderful clearance. Superb effort to clear the ball away by Samuel Cotto, because he doesn't know that the goal may not have stood. And he's got it away and kept the gap at 1 once more. Yeah, it's gone on to Saibari's hand. So I don't think it would have stood. But Cotto made a wonderful clearance anyway. A bicycle kick over his head. It's just confirmation there from VAR that it didn't cross the line. As I say, I think the handball would have been taken into account anyway. So it's still 1-0, despite a couple of big escapes for Cameroon in the last few minutes, as Morocco lift their tempo again. Well, they've given away a free kick now in the centre of the Moroccan half. Who is not happy. He feels that El Khanous should be in the book for that. He might have a point as well. There was any intent to play the ball there by Khanous. He just wanted to stop the runner getting forward. It's just a free kick. No other censure. It's about midway through the Moroccan half, and almost dead central. Kudu looks to be the one who's going to marshal the free kick. He chips it into the penalty area. It's headed away. It's a dreadful free kick, actually. Now Morocco stride forward through Azel Zouli, and the line looking for Brahim Diaz, but he's too far ahead of the Real Madrid man. Diaz, who played for Spain at youth level and only committed to Morocco in 2024. But the evidence of this particular tournament, he'll be glad he did. It's Tolo and Nahu. To his left is Nagida. Turns it to Nahu. Sweeps it right. Just square to Otto. Bumo's lost the ball again. And forward strides Azel Zouli once more. Plays the ball inside. El Kaabi plays it on. Turn and shot by Al Khanous, which balloons up off a defender. Goes behind for what will be a corner, I think. Well, no, it won't, because the offside flag's gone up against Al Khanous. But again, Brian and Bumo conceded possession so comfortably there. Al Khanous has hurt himself in playing that turn and shot. And in any case, Morocco were preparing a double substitution. So changes are afoot for the hosts in this particular contest. It looks like Surian Amrabat is going to be amongst those to come on for Morocco, and Youssef El Nassiri as well. Morocco still leading by a goal to nil as we come to the three-quarter mark. It's a good challenge there by Naoui to put the ball out of play. It is going to be Amrabat coming into the contest to see what he can do. And also Youssef El Nassiri, who's filled up a prayer as he prepares to enter the action. We've played almost 67 minutes. Your live audio commentary service, as he quite often does. El Kaabi comes off at that point, and El Nassiri will take his place up the top. Sofian Amrabat waits to enter the fray. He's come on for El Khanous, who looked as if he'd picked up a knock performing that turn and shot a few minutes ago. So Amrabat, who certainly lit up the 2022 World Cup with his performances, and spell at Manchester United off the back of that. He's into the action. He's currently on loan at Real Betis from Fenerbahce. Mazraoui doesn't perform a particularly good header. Comes back and recovers the ground. Tackles, and Bumo goes to ground and stays down inside the penalty area. Let's have a look at this. Mazraoui came back to put in a challenge. He won the ball pretty cleanly, I think. He certainly appeared to win the ball. I don't think there's anything untoward in that challenge. Bumo is on his haunches. He's getting back to his feet after the tackle. Certainly hasn't looked himself tonight at all, Bumo. As I say, in the last few weeks before the Africa Cup of Nations, he wasn't technical formation either. Doesn't seem to have found his mojo in this tournament. They might need him to find it quickly if they're going to get back in this contest, Cameroon. Left into the Cameroon half. Back into Moroccan territory. Seen what was played by Sina, who didn't take any chances. Already gone for a free kick to Cameroon just inside Moroccan half, back into their own half of the field in the centre circle, and drilled out towards this left-hand side. It's poor defending actually, giving the ball away, and Kudu trying to get to the byline, and Cameroon have got their first corner of the game as a result of that run to the line by George, Kevin and Kudu. Gerd had a little tug at his shirt as well. Remembered to let go just in time. Still with the duration of pulls on shirts in the penalty area these days. Here's the corner from the left from the Masso. In it comes, and it's an easy one for Bono. He just catches it, clasps it to his chest. When you've waited that long in a contest for a corner, you really ought to put in a better one than that. It's pretty woeful. From Cameroon again, and Kudu, who's bright since he came on, takes it all back to Nagida, inside to Aliba. Aliba lofts the ball towards the edge of the penalty area, headed away by Gerd. To this near side, throw to Cameroon, they've taken it quickly. Here's Nagida. Diagonal going up towards the penalty area, but Home is beaten to it. Morocco hoist it back into the Cameroon half, but there's nobody really that far forward, so it's easy for Passy to come out and start the side moving forward again. Cameroon, although they've been better since the break, they haven't tested Bono at all. They swing the ball out to the right hand side, and Bumo looks to take on his man as Rawi gets across, gives away another corner. Well, this is a corner from the right this time. So Cameroon are getting themselves a few set pieces. Can they do anything with any of them? That's the question. Right-sided corner. 71.5 minutes played on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Prince Moulay Abdullah Stadium. In it comes, left-footed, towards the back post, diving header, sends it wide. That was Nkudu again, who lost his marker at the back post. It was Hakimi who was asleep, let his man go, but he was diving forward. Ball was always a little bit too far ahead of him, skimmed off his head and went wide. Avom uses the situation to try and gee up the Cameroonians in the crowd, because despite the fact that they've not really turned up here yet, Cameroon, they're only a goal adrift, so there's not much in it. Here's Diaz, who we've not seen much of in the second half. He's on his side of throw on this near side, the Moroccan right. 25, 26 yards from the byline, thrown up the line towards Diaz. Diaz is pushed over by Nagida, gets up, puts his hands on Nagida's chest. That wasn't particularly bright. His teammates pull him away quickly, rightly so. I mean, it was a foul, but there was no great need to react in the way that he did. He's just bending over and stretching his back. He's back on the field. So it'll be a free kick, just a few yards from the near touchline, the Moroccan right. Probably only 7 or 8 yards from the byline. It's going to be swung in by Ezal Zuli. Sina is up from the back, Zaguerd. Second goal now. With only 16 and a half minutes to play, and Morocco will feel that they've got 1 foot in the semi-final. In comes the free kick. It's driven to the back post, and Saibari drives it in. The PSV man has doubled Morocco's advantage. And surely now, as I said a moment ago, they've got 1 foot in the Africa Cup of Nations semi-final on home turf here in Morocco. Ismail Saibari's first goal of the tournament, and in the 75th minute, it's Cameroon 0, Morocco 2. Ismail Saibari is buried under a pile of bodies. He seems to have a very novel celebration which involves repeatedly kicking him in the back. But he doesn't seem to mind. He finally gets up off the floor and celebrates his goal. I have a feeling that Bilal Al-Khanous was still making his way round to the dugout when that happened. It was drilled home by Saibari, who found room on the far side of the box and just lashed it back in the direction that it had come, and nobody could stop it. Goalkeeper was unsighted, I think. Don't know that he would have reached it anyway. But Cameroon, well, let's just say they have an Atlas mountain to climb if they're going to get back in this contest. Ismail Saibari salutes the crowd. Plenty of goals for PSV, and now a goal in the Africa Cup of Nations for Ismail Saibari. It's his 7th international goal, and that may be his most precious strike yet. Well, a lot to do now for Cameroon. We've not really tested Bono in the entire game, and now somehow they've got to find 2 goals in a quarter of an hour. It's a big ask. Here's Mbeumo on the far side. Put it out for a throw, Morocco. Mbeumo takes it quickly. I think in actual fact he's taken it too quickly, because there's a substitution to be made. And Kafane is going off. Kafane is off, and so is Baliba. Well, Anana has come on for Baliba, and Kafane. Magri is on for Namaso. I'm sure there was a third change in the midst of that. We'll try and clarify that as we go along. Cameroon play the ball towards the penalty area. It's belted away by Morocco. Throw comes in. Here is Onana for the first time. And Kudu playing it back to Avom, who lofts the ball into the penalty area. Heading out to the far side, and Mbeumo chases it. Plays it backwards. Ball lofted in from the right hand side. Poor clearance, comes back in from the left. Put away by Morocco, who are under pressure almost for the first time in the game, really. Swung forward again to Ryan Mbeumo. Tries to put it across from the right. Cannons off the defender. Out for a throw. Mbeumo takes it rapidly. Throws it back towards the halfway line. Cameroon with a real sense of urgency now, as they must have. Not sure why they didn't have that sense of urgency earlier, really, when they really needed it. But it's Etteri Yong who came on for Kafani, by the way. So that's the 3 substitutions. Etteri Yong, Onana and Magri. So they're all in the fray. Avom commits a foul. Goes through the back of his man. Saibari's finish again. He struck it so well, left-footed. Just hit it back in the direction that the cross had come. Hit it into the side of the goal. opposite to him. No more than Morocco deserve, really. They're much the better side in the game. And the hosts are on the verge of a semi-final. The first time since 2004. Algeria or Nigeria await them, so it won't get any easier, that's for sure. The free kick lofts it into the Cameroonian half, over the head of its intended target, who's gone down as if injured, but the referee sees no reason to stop the game. So the Siri that went down, long ball forward from Cameroon, looking for Nkudu. Doesn't reach him. Headed on though, all on the edge of the penalty area. The referee's whistle's gone for a foul. He's penalised the Cameroonian player. We've got two players down injured as a result of that situation. There's going to need to be some physios on the pitch here. Messina went into the challenge for Morocco. It was the substitute, Carl Eteriyong, who was involved from a Cameroonian perspective. He's only 22. It's joined Levante from Real in September to continue his domestic career in Spain. He's on his feet now once more. Magragi is putting up five fingers, so presumably he's orchestrating a change of tactics for this last 10 minutes. The Moroccan fans are in full voice now, because they know that the semi-final is within touching distance. The restart from the free kick goes out on the near side. Throw to Cameroon. Surprisingly, Cameroon have completed 214 passes to Morocco's 154. You just feel that Morocco's adventures into the Cameroon half have been slightly more decisive. Mbeumo plays the ball inside to Avom. He knocks it out to the far touchline. Shea Malone now. Mbeumo swings the ball from right to left. Nkudu has got Nagida outside him. Nagida tries to swing the ball in. Ashraf Hakimi's frame is in his way. It's out for a throw. Already taken to a central area. It's Tolo Nahu. Now Nkudu. Nkudu back to the halfway line. And Koto drifts one to the edge of the penalty area. Header comes in from Onana. Floats harmlessly wide of the goal. Never really threatening Bono, who was unconcerned. At least they won a ball in the opposition box. Cameroon, they haven't won many of those this evening. I feel that the sun is setting on Cameroon's prospects here. In fact, the sun has long set in the Prince Moulay Abdullah Stadium. But yes, Cameroon's hopes are dipping as Morocco prepare to make another substitution. They look to come forward once more. Zazuli on the far side. Sabari is calling for it to be played down the line. Zazuli runs inside instead and goes down under challenge. He wins a free kick just outside the box. Cameroonians protest, but here's a free kick. Malone clipped the heel. Here's Zazuli. Went to ground. So it's a free kick. Just a yard or so outside the penalty area. 2 or 3 yards in from the left edge. So I would think there may be an opportunity for a left-footed shot here. As Al-Zouli is round the ball. And Diaz also. Diaz almost standing in front of the ball now, as if to obscure the ball's view. He's now stepped the other side of the ball once more. Looks as if it's going to be Al-Zouli's right foot rather than Diaz's left. Referee's blown the whistle. They're taking as long as they possibly can over this, Morocco. Referee may lose patience eventually. Here's Al-Zouli, he's hit the wall. Rabat follows up, gets the ball out to the far side, but Al-Zouli can't keep it in play. So it'll be a throw to Cameroon. Almost not far from their own corner flag. Thrown out the line to break forward, but across comes Messina. Puts it into the Cameroonian half. Cameroon just don't look like they've got enough about them to get back in this contest, and here is Brahim Diaz bursting down the left-hand side. He's got down to the corner flag. I think he's won himself a corner. I'm very surprised if he hasn't. A corner given. Challenge of Shea Malone and Avom. Well, actually looking at that again, I'm not sure that Diaz should have got a corner. Ismail Saibari's coming off, having got his goal. It's a hand slap from Inawi. Lovely finish by Saibari. Beautiful goal. It's doubled Morocco's lead. Well, we're going to see Sofiane Rahimi and Oussama Targaline, who are coming into the fray, as Al-Zouli taking a well-deserved rest. He's had a good game tonight. So Rahimi is on. Targaline on as well to complete this task for the Moroccans. Oussama Targaline, just his 8th cap. Played forward by Cameroon, headed away towards the edge of the penalty area. Just about managed to stop the ball going up for a corner kick there. Took it out for a throw. Bruno took it. The ball swung into the penalty area. It's going to go over the head of its intended recipient, because well to keep it in. And they're going to cross in now. Nagida attempted to do so. Knocked out for a throw by Morocco. And Kudu plays it inside. Here's Anana. Was knocked off balance as he went to play the pass. Rahimi fails to clear the ball. Goes through the back of his man. That's a bad challenge, you know. On Avom. He's going to be booked for that. He's only just come on the pitch. He's going to pick up a yellow card. He's might be a lucky boy. It's not worse than that, you know. That was a dreadful tackle. It really was. Stretched for it with one foot and went through the back of his man with the other foot. I guess the fact that it wasn't two-footed gets him away with it, but not a clever challenge at all by Soufiane Rahimi. I can understand he's probably eager to make an impression having just come on, but it's a reckless challenge, really is. Free kick to Cameroon, only 2 and a bit minutes of normal time remaining. They have to score here, you feel. They put the ball into the box. 2 players go down, referee plays on. Back to Nkudu, out to Mbumo, on the right hand edge, steps inside, tries a shot, charged down, picks it up again, Mbumo. He's robbed of the ball. Sraoui plays it forward, looking for the run of Diaz. Passy is well out of his goal. Hooks it back into the Moroccan half. But it's all very frantic from Cameroon. There's not a great deal of plan behind it, you feel now. They've not really turned up tonight. The indomitable Lions. Sraoui was bundled to the floor. from Mbumo was charged down. It's been a great tournament. Morocco looked to have that pretty well dealt with. And Diaz has gone down for the time being. His right leg is heavily strapped. Maybe that he needs to come off as well. Brahim Diaz, they'll hope that there's nothing too serious about that, because he is their talisman. 5 goals in 5 matches, a goal in every game. Mane is going to come on in his stead. It's a big hug from his manager. Doesn't look too distraught at coming off. I reckon he'll be fit for the semi-final. I'll wager with you that he'll be fine. He gets a couple of minutes of pause anyway. Cameroon with another ball forward, but it looks a lost cause, I have to say. And Mane gets his first touch of the ball, running down the right-hand side for Morocco. Goes past one defender, but the flag is up. Committed a foul to get to that point of the field. A free kick from deep in their own half, but it really hasn't been their night at all. Cameroon not looked dangerous at all. The ball drifts its way through to Bono. Managed a single shot on target in a quarter-final of a major tournament. Cameroon, it tells you how poor they've been, really. Morocco have only had 3 on target, 8 shots in all, but they have scored twice. And they've done what they've needed to do against a team who've been well below par. I guess the question for Moroccan fans will be, how many more levels have this Moroccan team got? Because they may need to find another one against either Algeria or Nigeria in the last 4, which they're surely through to now. We've got 5 minutes of stoppage time. We've played 1 already. Cameroon are still knocking the ball around, but not looking threatening. Vom links up with Mbumo. Mbumo gets into the right-hand side of the area, but he's shepherded away from it once more. Has to play the ball backwards to Shea Malone. Malone back to Cotto. Cotto to the skipper, Nahu. Further left to Nagida. Nagida swings the ball in. It's comfortably cleared. And here come Morocco on the counter-attack. Got Mane running forward. Pass didn't reach him. There's Nkudu at the other end. That's a good ball to the left-hand side. Can they get a ball across the box? Well, they attempted to do so. It was swept behind for a corner by Aguerd. It was the Young's ball in, but Aguerd cleared it comfortably enough. Well, if we're going to have a grandstand finish, they have to score from this corner. And then they'll have about 2.5 minutes to try and get another one. To what we've seen so far, you wouldn't fancy them. But we'll see. Referee Ieda is having a word with 1 or 2 in the box once again. That's what referees seem to do at corners these days. Have a word with people about shenanigans, and then the shenanigans carries on. In comes the corner, headed away from the centre of the box. They look to put the ball back in the penalty area once more. Twisting and turning. It goes down. Referee has given the free kick. Well, that surprises me. I wasn't sure that there was a foul, to be honest. Israeli got the ball. Referee disagreed. So Cameroon with a chance to swing in a free kick from the right. It's 16 yards from the byline. 6 or 7 yards in from the far touchline, the Cameroonian right. Bumo with it. And he swings it. Dangerous one. And Aguerd gets his head on it. As Rawi heads it out back to Mbumo. Mbumo tries a little bit of trickery, but he's outnumbered. He's won it back again though, Mbumo. tackle comes in from Rezraoui to put it behind for a corner. I think Brahim Diaz going off reduced Morocco to 10 men, and he might be trying to get the referee's attention to come back on again. Not sure he should bother. In comes the corner, caught by Bono, and that will be that. I'm pretty sure that will be that. The Moroccans getting ready to celebrate. It's been a pretty comfortable win, really. Goal in each half. They run forward, and the referee, well, I thought he'd blown the whistle. I don't think he has. I think he's given a free kick to Cameroon. About 40 seconds of stoppage time remaining. And loft another ball towards the penalty area, and they do. Rezraoui looks to shepherd it out, and Bumo couldn't keep it in. He knows the game is up. Moroccan players on the sideline according for the whistle. El Khanous getting ready to sprint onto the pitch in celebration. He and Diaz share a hug. The Cameroonian faces say it all. They know the game is up. Just waiting for the referee's final whistle. It'll come surely when Bono takes this goal kick. Draghi stirring up his players as well. Bono with the goal kick, and the whistle goes. Morocco are in the semi-finals of their home tournament here at the African Cup of Nations. Brahim Diaz's goal in the first half, and Ismail Saibari's really good finish in the second, for a Moroccan side who were far too good, for a Cameroonian team who on the night didn't muster a shot on target, and in fact only mustered 3 shots in total. So Morocco have broken the hoodoo against a team who had beaten them 5 times in the African Cup of Nations, 5 times out of 5. Well, that particular ghost has been laid to rest, and Morocco march on as they seek a first African Cup of Nations triumph in half a century. They were too good for Cameroon tonight. The Atlas Lions produced teeth, whereas the indomitable Lions proved more pussycat than big cat. Morocco 2, Cameroon 0. Thanks for enjoying.